This Heal the Healer Immersive that I have coming up shortly, every healer needs to experience. This is not something you've experienced before. It's highly, highly unlikely that you've gone through this immersives. This particular immersive I have coming up is 8 weeks long. We meet once a week, at least 2 hours a week, and then we do follow up as needed during the week. Um, it's something very special to me. I continue to be fascinated by it. It's something I've gone through it, and everyone should experience. Every single healer should experience, because when you, as a healer, as a people helper, get to, what the words are, and I use, there's so many words I could use. When you get to go through this experience and take away so many layers and elevate to a level of consciousness that you never knew you could elevate to, um, it's priceless. It's priceless. I've gone through, and it still fascinates me to this day how it works. It, it's based partly on Carl Jung's inner alchemy, where you transform the lead of the unconscious into the gold of the superconscious. All of the immersives are journeys. I will take you through those journeys. They're symbols, they're layers, archetypes. It's highly archetypal and spiritual, of course, highly spiritual, but it's spiritual in a way that fits with your spiritual beliefs. It is not a particular type of spirituality. I I highly recommend to sign up for this, because these experiences will not only will take you through your own particular healing, which that's why it's called Heal the Healer, but the most amazing aspect of this immersives is that, as Carl Jung talks about the mandala of the persona, shadow, anima animus, and the individuation. The most amazing thing that as you work on your persona, as you work on your wounds, because the wounds sit in your persona and they sit in your soul, it heals the shadow. It clears a lot of the shadow without you having to do any shadow work. Zero shadow work. It's fascinating, and it works on such deep layers. It has a tremendous psychological benefit. I I would not have my life any other way. I can't say that I'm a completely different person, because I'm not. I just arrived at the self, that individuate, that person that I am, and makes me this makes me a better healer, a better therapist. And because of these journeys and because of these experiences that I've gone through, um, I get to help my clients quicker, deeper, somehow. How do I put this in words? Because a lot of experiences cannot be expressed in words, but somehow when I'm with a client, I don't even need to know all of what they've gone through, especially when I do regression and alchemical regression, to heal their soul and patch their wounds and all that. It is just an amazing instant knowingness on how to guide them to where they need to go. It's not following a script. It's fascinating. It's fascinating, and you need to check this out. Very unlikely, highly, highly unlikely that you've experienced this before, even if you've done a lot of spiritual growth, a lot of spiritual workshops and progress and healing and all that. Why do you need this? Well, because you're a healer. Because you're a healer, you're a people helper, and there's a lot that you've taken on, consciously or unconsciously. When working directly with people that come to you and need help, they come to you with wounds. And thank God you exist. Thank God you exist so people can come to you to heal their wounds. But through this process, by default, we take on some of those hurts that our clients gone through when they come to us. So in addition to this Heal the Healer Immersive, in addition to you healing the parts of you, it shifts you to a level of consciousness, and it provides you with a skill set that keeps you not engaged in the consciousness of the wound. Is the best way to describe it. Not engaged unconsciously in the consciousness of the wound of the client. There is something called a detached observational skill, which is one of the first things I'm going to present to you. It's fascinating. It only the skill alone, it shifts you to different dimensions of existence, different dimensions of observation. Um, but there's just one part. There's just one part of this immersive. It's 8 weeks long. We're going to meet online for at least 2 hours once a week. And then we follow up during the week with how your experience was and any feedback you want us to share and anything you want to make sense of. Although there is nothing to make sense of through this healing, there's so many transformations happening at a very deep layer that, well, it's fascinating. I mean, as I say, it's fascinating, but there's so many things happening at a very deep layer that a lot of the healing, once you get after a while, you get back to it's a beautiful experience. It's hard to put in words, but you get back to that original you that came into this life all joyful and perfect and boundless, not restricted by so many standards and so many guidelines and so many right and wrong. But at this level, you bypass the right and wrong. It's above that. You get to a level of consciousness. You attain pure consciousness very often through this immersive. And you gain so many skills during this Heal the Healer that it would be very hard to not continue with the skills. And a lot of them register at the subconscious level. All of a sudden, you find yourself knowing something you don't know where you know it from, but you just know it, and it's right deep inside you. And how come you know it? How come other people don't know that you know it? It can be described in various ways. Past healers that I work with, one in particular told me that I opened portals for her. Well, we do open portals, but whatever terminology for you will be on your experience, there will be your terminology. Not every person uses the same language, the same words to describe their experiences, but every single person gets elevated, gets shifted into that layers of consciousness where there is a deep reverence for the other as a human being. There is a deep reverence for the other's soul, to help nourish their soul, to help heal their soul, but also very deep reverence for your own soul as well. The transference will just disappear. There's no transference. Many of my past students on this Heal the Healer have the ability to meet the client exactly where the client is in every single moment. There's no cheat sheets, there's no worksheet, there's no check marks or dotted lines. There's none of that. You just know. You begin to have the capacity to hear the client's consciousness. Doesn't come in words. You'll just know how to guide a client, how to help them heal. And whether you work on healing people or whether you work on counseling people or on coaching people, it's the same thing, because somebody comes to you to make something better. Yeah. I don't know about change, because change is a difficult word, but they come to you to make something better. And sometimes they don't know how to word it. What do they want to make better? People are so conditioned in looking and verbalizing what's wrong and what they don't like and what they want to run from. So a lot of people, they have difficulties wording out, telling you what they want. Yeah? It's not just peace and happiness. It's not just that. That's too vague, right? There's needs in the immediacy of the moment. There's needs in the next hour, in the next day, in the next week, in the next month, that the client, the students, your client, your patients, they need to experience for that healing to continue to occur. It's such a beautiful journey. It's not hypnosis, and of course not talk therapy, because this is journeying. This is an immersive. I will guide you through it. Headphones are recommended, and I will need you to be on a laptop where I get to see at least part of your body from the waist up. It's just typical standard requirement even for hypnosis. So I get to see your breathing pattern. But this is not going to be a conversational hypnosis. It's not a regression. It's not past life regression. None of that. It doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a name other than a deep immersive. Deep inner alchemy. Think of Carl Jung, inner alchemy, a lot of symbols, a lot of archetypes, a lot of layers, and there is a progression to all of this. So the whole 8 week is going to be a journey in itself, with each big being a journey. Beautiful, beautiful process. It's so special. So special. And it, on my part, it takes a lot of care. I have to hear your consciousness when I guide you through it, because there is no script to it. There's archetypes, there's symbols, and there's steps that need to be followed, but there is no script per se. And the bonus, the cherry on top of this, is that this 8-week Heal the Healer Immersive will give you credits for the fearfulness training. Yeah, or you'll get a lot of fearfulness on this. And we'll also give you credits on the shamanic alchemy training and certification. So there's so many benefits. And I described it well enough on a webpage, and the price is really cheap. It's really cheap. But after you go through the webpage and you still have questions before signing up, reach out to me. reach out to me, because I do want to hear your question. Because when you ask me a question, I will know where is that question coming from. So often, words are not sufficient to describe the experience, are not sufficient to ask a question to an understanding of the perspective to which we need to understand it at. So reach out, ask me a question, send me a text, send me an email. We can schedule a one-on-one phone call or a video call, and we'll take it from there. But do sign up. It's an amazing, amazing journey. And if you're not a healer, sign up even if you're not a healer. All that I require of you is to have a minimum level of journeying, meaning you're not going to fall asleep. This is not hypnosis. You're not gonna go somewhere. I mean, you are going to try, but you're going to be fully conscious. And if you don't have basic journey skills, I will set a time with you before this Healing Immersive happens for me to train you on basic journeying skills. It's very simple, but it's something that if you haven't experienced, you need to be guided into. When I was first guided into, I was like, oh, that's it. So hopefully that's what you're gonna be at too. Oh, that's it. So yes, but this Heal the Healer Immersive, yes, it feels the soul, it heals the soul at so many different layers. But check out the webpage, all right? Check out the webpage. I described it well enough in words that can be heard from different perspectives, by different practitioners, and reach out. All right, reach out and sign up. Actually, sign up, because I'm looking forward to see you. I'm looking forward to guide you in your healing. I'm looking forward to hear how you healed, your healing journey. And the other fascinating aspect of this is that this healing continues months and years after you've immersed in this. It's fascinating. So sign up and reach out to me. I'll be happy to guide you through any questions you have. All right.